Hello everyone and welcome to the Chapter 10 overview, Atoms and Molecules. One of the points that John Gribben makes in the beginning of this is that at this period of time it was possible for some scientists to actually make money at the profession. So we're moving from a time where science was generally an amateur endeavor to one where not only positions in universities but positions of inventors and technology proving money-making for many scientists. Before we get to the overview and a few of the people that you'll read about, first let's take a couple course notes. For chapters 10 through 14, I'd like you to read and make notes on selected pages of each chapter. For example, in chapter 10, I'd like you to read from pages 359 to 381. And I'd like you, that'll be the focus for the final and the focus that I'd like you to do for the readings. Paper number 1 will be graded this week and early next week, and that the grades will be returned, or you'll hear about them in the overview next week, how you can get to them. And if you have not received your midterm grade, most people have gotten that from me. You can email me and I'll send you your midterm grade. Okay, let's go to the first person that we're going to mention. That's Humphry Davy. Humphry Davy was an amazing Renaissance person, not only a wonderful scientist, but quite a writer as well. One of his first experiments was on nitrous gas, better known as laughing gas. And this is the cover paper from the book on that. To give you a sense, I like this image that I found in Google Images, and they divide up the scientific and the literary. At the very, very bottom of this slide, these are all the works of literature that he wrote during his lifetime, which was a relatively short. But if you look at the top, you'll see some of the scientific discoveries. He announced the anesthetic properties of nitrous oxide. We mentioned that earlier. He discovered electrochemistry, that certain chemical combinations would produce electricity. He demonstrated an electric arc. He discovered potassium and sodium, as well as magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and boron. He proved that chlorine is an element and gave it its current name. He invented the Davy lamp. Now, the Davy lamp is a lamp that proved really life-saving for many miners in the early 1800s, coal miners in Britain. So he had quite an amazing list of achievements, and quite a writer as well. I like this quote by Davy: "Life is made up not of great sacrifices or duties, but of little things, in which smiles and kindnesses and small obligations given habitually are what preserve the heart and secure comfort." It's a great quote from Humphry Davy. John Dalton was a scientist that started to think about atoms. As a matter of fact, he's the one that coined the word atom. And this is a little graphic on Dalton's atomic theory. All elements are composed of atoms. This quote: "Matter, though divisible in an extreme degree, is nevertheless not infinitely divisible. That is, there must be some point beyond which we cannot go in the division of matter. I have chosen the word atom to signify these ultimate particles." There is a picture of John Dalton. You've heard of Avogadro's number, and this is Amedeo Avogadro, and you'll read about how he discovered that wonderful theory that in order to state that all equal volumes of all gases at the same temperature and pressure contain the same number of molecules. The chapter goes on then to talk about how the elements were organized. Now, Dmitry Mendeleev, a Russian chemist, gets most of the credit for this, but it was really a team effort, as you'll see in the chapter. To the right there is Mendeleev's original periodic table. It looks a lot different from the periodic table we use today, and you'll notice that lots and lots of elements are missing, but that's because it was in the 1800s. Anyway, that's the quick overview. It's about 20 pages that I'm asking you to read. Please read, take notes on them, and we'll see you next week for the overview.